welcome to the Grapevine Show. Let's kick it off with the news. First topic tonight, something pretty interesting, drone deliveries. As of 2 weeks ago, Wind Supply in Ohio takes a drone, flies it from the main distribution center to the local store. Underneath, they're carrying a TXV. Now, you can imagine the amount of money saved by flying a drone from point A to point B. No manpower is needed other than launching the drone. So imagine the amount of labor time saved by not having somebody having to transport that part. This is pretty interesting, and I'm really interested to see where this develops and ends up going. In other news, unless you've been living underneath a rock, you've probably heard of the Inflation Reduction Act. Let's ask ourselves, how is this going to impact us? Well, here's what's going to happen. We're going to get some federal rebate money coming our way to push heat pump systems into people's homes. I'm not going to bore you with the details. I imagine every manufacturer in town is going to bombard your emails, so be prepared for that funnel of knowledge. Let's talk about an unflattering topic, shall we? Now, I get a letter in the mail the other day and it says, guess what? We're canceling your homeowner's insurance. Well, great. Now what do I have to do? I got to go shopping, right? I'm being told that most of the insurance companies that provide homeowners insurance in this area, and even some nationwide, have went bankrupt. They went bankrupt from the 2016 flood, that's what I'm being told. Do I believe that? I don't know. Honestly, I haven't done the research. That's why I'm bringing on a guest who's more versed in that topic tonight. We'll get into that. Let's talk about something that you will need shortly. And that means winter's coming, and it wouldn't hurt to get a personal monitor that you can mount on you while you're working in the field, right? We're going to be firing up furnaces. There's going to be modine heaters in gymnasiums. And I'm sure you've seen Eric Kaiser with his personal monitor on him. If you haven't, check it out. Here's what I'd like to say. You can pick up this monitor at TrueTech Tools, or at least go in your supply house and see if they carry one and get one attached to your body while you're doing winter work. You would be surprised the places this monitor is going to go off. When it does, it's time to notify somebody. With all that being said, on with the live show. What's up, everybody?
What's up?
What's happening? I'm off mute now.
Wasn't quite an Eric Kaiser news skip, but it was there. You know what I'm saying?
I think you did well, man.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry tonight, everybody. Still in quarantine, hopefully only for another day. Yeah, I ended up with the COVID. Yeah, not been fun.
So, guys, I'm jumping in. I'm bringing in the guest. So the guest tonight is my sister. My sister has been in the banking industry for about 26 years, right? She serves on the LSU advisory board for banking, and she attended the graduate school for LSU of banking, right? So she's got a lot of banking knowledge. And we're going to dig in deep and see what she can shed some light on the questions that we have developed. So with that being said, go ahead. Go ahead.
So she's going to be the smartest one in this on this episode?
Probably. She'll be more wealthier than us, right? Because she'll know how to manage the money.
All right, that's what I'm hearing.
All right. Here we go. Brandy.
Hello, everyone.
How's it going?
Brandy.
Hey, sis.
I'm just wondering, more knowledgeable. I definitely look better. But how can I have 26 years when I don't look that old?
I don't know. Maybe you lied on your resume.
Brandy, I think you're going to owe, or Chris, I think you're going to owe her a lot of favors after this.
Yes, indeed.
Yeah.
Yep.
I think you might have just dug yourself a hole there, brother.
Probably so, but it's going to be fun. We're going to pick the banker's brain. All right, Brandy, we're going to dig into this and we're going to ask some questions. We want you to just go all in. Ready? All right, number one for the night. Do the banks have the ability to consider energy efficiency or third-party certifications like Energy Star, LEED, or Pearl certifications when determining the amount to loan for the house. Are you familiar with these certifications?
I am familiar with the certifications just because I've been a construction lender, for probably the majority of 15 plus years. So I'm very familiar with it. I've actually built a couple myself. So I did it for tax reasons, though. There's not really a metrics that is designed in the appraisal form, which is, of course, what we loan off of. So we look at your personal or your business finances if you're doing this as a spec house or a pre-sold or as your primary residence, debt to income, loan to value is based off of course, the appraisal. So what we do is we get appraisers because we're not appraisers, even though everybody thinks we are. We're not. We look at the appraiser goes out and it's the area that you're building in, square footage, bedrooms and bathrooms. And that's the comparable right now. Now, that isn't to say that one day, I mean, as y'all know, with the industry that y'all are in, things are constantly changing. So I'm sure somebody will create a metrics and that's what we'll be going off of in the future. But for now, it's the only thing I've been able to see. It's for tax purposes.
That's interesting.
Yeah. So if say a homeowner came to you and said, well, I need some money to do these retrofits on my home and I'm going to save all this energy. I'm using a lot of energy now. Could you actually loan on the amount that if they have a solid predicted energy, say, could you actually loan on that amount that they're predicting, or would that not be something even a normal bank could do?
We could probably loan off, we could loan off. So we would do a home equity loan or a second mortgage so that they could have some better energy conservation to be able to save them money in the long run as far as like on electricity and things like that. Or to go ahead and get the tax benefits. So when they're filing their taxes, they'll have it. Of course, and the great thing about doing a second mortgage or a HELOC versus an unsecured loan is you can use that for tax purposes because it's your primary residence. So you can claim the interest on that. But that's still all going to be based off of the appraisal value.
Interesting. Okay.
Yeah, when I started researching this, I reached out to a friend that does real estate in my area. And I was, I'm just an HVAC guy, so it's like there's got to be something out there where if I got a builder and he's a regular spec home guy, and I got another guy, like a Matt Reisinger, he does like super energy efficient homes, would there be a rebate or this? He goes, nope. So I was like, I was excited to have you on because, I was thinking about that since this is, where I do blower door testing and stuff like that. So, but hey, maybe one day.
Yeah, there's a ton of regulations that y'all are being faced with. Of course, we're being faced with them on the other side. Maybe one day they'll all mesh. Maybe in the metaverse, but maybe.
That's right.
That'd be a novel idea right there. I don't know about that.
Y'all could come to my metaverse anytime y'all want. It's a lot cheaper in the metaverse.
That's the metaverse?
That's the metaverse, man. Yep.
Looks like a 90s basement.
I figure I'd lose my home because I can't get homeowners insurance right now because Louisiana, they're just like, no more homeowners. So I figure the first storm's just going to take my house away and I'm not going to be able to replace it. So I've just went ahead and committed to the metaverse. I mean, I've got built-in friends right
just
here,
live there.
Right?
That's it.
They've got their own TV. We got these cool lights.
I would have expected a lot more out of the metaverse than a 90s TV room in a basement.
Dude, the 90s was the best. That's why.
For the right price, you can design whatever you want that room to look like.
That's right, man. The flip of a switch, I could have new friends back there, right?
Clickety-clack.
Boom, gone. You guys, you're out of here. New set, bring them in.
Speaking of the metaverse, now, in the year 2040 or before, banking will be in the metaverse, so we've heard. That kind of scares me, but we'll see.
That was on Facebook.com news.
So that means we got to get some metaverse headsets to get our money out of our ATMs.
I'm not sure how it works. I mean, I just put on the Oculus glasses and I'm having a conversation with somebody, I guess, and I'm not sure how they pay me the money, but yeah.
So do you think banks right now are already buying space in the metaverse to prepare for that? You know what I'm talking about?
I think so. We haven't purchased any. We're a community bank, but I think some of your fintechs, I think they've purchased. I mean, I know, I think he said that I just went to a seminar on this in San Antonio, and Louis Vuitton has already purchased space. So that way, when you're walking around with your skins or whatever that you design, you can look classy with your Louis Vuitton bag.
Yeah, I heard about that. That's some weird stuff. Snoop Dogg bought some place. I'm like, where? And I got the headset. I'm like, where the hell's this metaverse?
I just want to know what's the metrics, right? When you buy a place in the metaverse, what's the comparables, right? Like, could you imagine what the future is going to be like? Well, that place is expensive because Snoop Dogg's literally 2 blocks that way, and you should see his place. It's beautiful, right?
I just want to know if my property taxes are going to be that high in metaverse.
Better not be.
I just want to know.
It's not 2 blocks; it's 2 server racks over now.
Yeah. Look, I just want to let you guys know the public schools over here in this part of the metaverse, you can't beat it, right?
The crime's real low.
Yeah.
I'm thinking it must be slow though, because they're still watching the same show from when you logged in 11 minutes ago.
That's
so
right.
They're slow learners, I think.
My water bill must be 0. Okay.
All right. Jumping into another question. How would it be possible, in your opinion, to change the bank's valued, let's say, the valued loan amount regarding the home in reference to statistics? And when we say statistics, the ones we're looking for is an infiltration number, which is how much it leaks with a blower door test, a duct leakage number, which is how much do the ducts leak, right? These are things that could be long-term repairs. Like the HVAC static pressure numbers, IAQ numbers, things like that. Like, how can we get these to be looked at and incorporated from a loan value? I understand that the air conditioner could be replaced, right? It's not a long-term thing. But these metrics, like infiltration and duct leakage, are long-term fixes that stay with the house forever, right? Could it be possible that we could encourage the banks, or what channels will we take to get the bank to say, oh, this house is better than that house because of this? Is there a channel for
that's
that?
a loaded question. And you're so smart. You use all those big words. Let me break it down for the other people out there.
No, that's what we want. Yeah.
I think it really starts, there's probably some metrics you can do, but I start thinking so let's just say somebody builds this energy efficient SEER rating, whatever, blower door test. This is let's just say this is A+, okay? And it's gonna make my electricity bill $50 a month. Okay, let's just say that. Where right now everybody is, y'all know electricity right now, and everybody's bill is quadruple or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But how long does that last? So you're financing a house for 30 years. I mean, some people want 40 years interest only, I'm telling you, because it's like rental for them. They flip them so quick. Mm-hmm. So if it's a product and it's all coming in, so it's probably not a spec home, it's a custom for sure. What is making the bank, or the metric for the bank, to be able to loan more? Because how long is that product working? I mean, okay, so the roof is 25 years. Okay. You're going to renovate it. I don't know how many times because your wife don't like the paint color anymore or whatever. But is whatever you're doing, is that a 30-year product?
It's a lifespan. It would be a lifespan of the house product. So if you seal the house up tight, if you have good tight ductwork, well installed, all of that should last the life of the house, or at least we'll say the life of the plumbing in the house. Right. So how long does plumbing last in your house? It pretty much lasts the life of the house in a lot of cases. So this is stuff that's going to hold up for 50, 100 years, as long as that house, doesn't, of course, you guys down there in Louisiana might get blown away in a hurricane, but
it lasts for the next hurricane.
Us up here in the rest of the country.
And it's not something that the bank would care, but one thing I would say to kind of like not argue, but to make a statement, if I had a home that was just a regular cookie cutter house, and I had another home that was like really like close to net zero, and I told you, hey bank, if you offered this to a first time homeowner, they would be able to afford the electric bill in that nice house that's has a blower door certification, it's energy efficient, Energy Star, whatever have you. They wouldn't be like, oh my God, it's $400 electric bill, So they would be able to pay the mortgage. I mean, I guess it's kind of like peanuts at this point, but it's something in the future for banks to consider, I think,
Yeah, like a guaranteed expenditure on utilities.
I think it's also not only on utilities, but when you think about really improving a house, and Chris, you mentioned it, like indoor air quality in there. Okay, so if you have a really good HVAC system, right, that includes the heating, the ventilating, the air conditioning, it's keeping the indoor environment really healthy. How would you measure the health of a customer? Because like for a bank loaning money, if their customer gets sick or has a bunch of recurring medical bills, that's pulling money out of their pocket versus them being able to pay that bank loan back, right?
Right.
I mean, is that something that banks could look at in the future, or could that system be changed somehow to even look at metrics like that?
I think so. However, that goes back to somebody building the metrics, and I don't want to say sold, but it has to be incorporated, somewhere,
so that everybody's looking at it.
Everybody's on the same playing field, and everybody's being able to utilize it. And I think that's just like debt to income now. There's a general standard when someone's buying or building a house or whatever, they're going to look at it. There's a standard debt to income that they figure what you can afford. Of course, let's say you make $90,000, well, we figure up your monthly debts. We're not going to let you expenditure $90,000. There's always a ratio, 38%, 41%, whatever's in that metrics. For the reason if, okay, my electricity bill is doubled this month, my kids need, orthodontic work or whatever the case may be. I have private tuition that just came up or whatever the case may be. So that's, a lot of people say, well, I make this and I can, okay, yeah, but you're going to have stuff that is not on your credit bureau that you are paying monthly. So that's why there's always that percentage. So I think it's definitely something that could eventually happen. It's just not a metric that we look at currently.
So where would that be, like something that's regulated through like the state or federal government then, or at what level would that even be regulated at?
I think it would start on the federal scale, and then you may have some states that opt out, like other things, but I think it starts there, and then it trickles down, fed, state, into communities.
Plus, we would have to our grassroots movement would be, we'd have to build that metric so cleanly that by the time it gets to the bank wants just a sheet of paper with check boxes. Did it check that box? Yes. Okay, we're good. Because the bank doesn't want to understand all these metrics in detail like we do. They just want, they've got their own lives in their own world they've got to run. They just want, by the time it gets to them, to say, oh, this is available. Okay. Does it pass? Okay, good. Right. Cut and dry.
Done.
And I guess it could be a metric that the bank would actually, we would utilize it. However, I think it would probably go into the value in the appraisal. So I think that's something that the appraiser would either have a home inspection report in the appraisal that checks all those boxes.
Oh, right. Like the wind mitigation. Okay.
Yes. Yeah.
Well, maybe that's where we got to get in.
I think that's where it would fit in. That's just my opinion.
So we need to talk to the Appraisers Association.
We need to go hold appraisers hostage.
Next question. Do you know any appraisers?
Where can I get the appraiser list?
Yeah.
And their house addresses.
Yeah.
Oh, geez.
The ones that I know, the phone number is.
It's not working.
All right. Switching gears. Here's a fun one. If you're out there, listen loud and clear. This one's going to be good. Brandy, this is probably going to be one of your favorites. Why is 0% interest kind of like a gimmick? And how does it compare to, say, a loan at 7%? What I mean is, if an air conditioner company is out there and they're out there and they're everywhere, 0% interest, right? And then let's say somebody's around the corner is like, I'm going to only offer 7% interest because I think it's a better deal. You're the banker. Tell us what you think about that.
Every time I get this question, I want to go be like, okay. All right. I love 0%. Love it. Utilize it all the time. I want to use somebody else's money before I want to use my own. However, the difference, of course, this is my little joke for Chris. The difference between 0% and 7% is 7%.
Oh, yeah. But
okay, so here it is.
Is Chris a little slow on the whole math thing here?
He's not the banker. He's not the banker. So here's the big deal with 0% interest. A couple things to look for. So the first thing is, are there any fees attached to 0% interest? So it might say, oh, here you can have 0% interest for a certain term, but the fee is 4% on the balance or whatever up front.
Yeah.
But the big gimmick is, it's not really a gimmick, I guess. You have to, 0% offers make people buy spontaneously things that they cannot afford. That's the issue. So if a furniture store or HVAC company or whatever the case may be offers you 0%, how long is the 0% for? If it's for 12 months, you better figure out a payment plan to pay that thing off in 11 months and 28 days. Because the day you go over, they back the interest all the way from day one, and you're paying all of it. There is no out of it at that. So
I had that happen to a customer a couple of years back.
It happens more than people want to realize it, but that's the whole thing is whatever you want to purchase, make sure it's truly something that's honestly a need, or even if you're doing a vacation or whatever that you want to utilize their money, because I'm all about using free money, and that's what I call it. But you have to have a plan to be able to pay that off before they add all that interest back to you.
Now, what happens if that same AC company goes, well, we can give you the cash price, and it's $1,000 less, or roughly.
Well, let's talk about
the check
that.
Price.
From the way I understand it, that's not legal. You can't give to people two prices. You cannot offer a price for the job and then say, I'm going to do that job for cheaper if you pay in cash. I didn't think that was a possibility. I could be wrong. I just thought that was a no-no.
Well, I think I'm jumping ahead. I see Mike's over here shaking his head. I'm not sure if it's a cash price, like bring me the cash. I think it's you pay now or you pay later is the difference. Is that correct?
No,
well,
and
I think what you're saying, Chris, is that it used to be that it wasn't legal to charge extra for financing. Right. And there's some nuances here, and it depends on your state. Because and this is where I've worked in a couple different states that I've learned this. Some states allow you to say, okay, here's the price, we'll finance it. Or if you want to do cash, we can give you X% discount to pay cash or check. But that changed. There was some laws that changed around that. And it depends on how you offer it. And it also depends on your state laws, because each state law is different as well, is my understanding of it.
Okay. Yeah, my finance guy said, yeah, you can't do that here in Florida. So if you can offer the check price or cash price, it needs to be really close to what the financing is around.
Yeah.
So I was like, wow, I don't really understand this. Just a wrench
Yeah.
turner.
You're going to have to look at your state laws, and they'll tell you exactly, there's going to be chances are a website that says exactly what you can and can't do in your state somewhere. And I
there's a lot of people down here, financing 90-year-old ladies. So There's a lot of scams going.
So
yeah, unfortunately.
something I would talk about, our family business, we would send everybody to Brandy. Brandy would do a loan for an air conditioner if they needed it. We felt they would get the best deal at the bank. And I still feel like that's the best deal you're going to get, going to the bank. Would you agree, Brandy? Because how is the air conditioner company?
Not necessarily, because if I utilize a 0% interest credit card, as long as the company that I'm purchasing from allows that credit card to be used, I may have to pay the fee or whatever. Either I'll get a check, that I can fill out and pay for the air condition. Yeah, if I know I can pay that off before 12 months or the year or whatever, well, then 0% is always better. Even though, I'm the banker, it's still 0% is better for the customer. However, if they think they can't pay that off, well, we all know those credit cards are 25 or 30% or whatever the regulation is on them now. Well, then surely a bank loan at 7% or a HELOC using their house to get it is going to be the better alternative for them.
But doesn't the 0%, even with the credit card thing, doesn't it come with the impact fee up front? So you're basically like paying for this interest that they're saying you're not paying for up front as a fee. I mean, let's call it what it is. If you have a fee up front, it's basically the interest, right? That could have been spread out.
Not necessarily. If I have a 0% credit card and I know I can pay it off in 12 months, let's say I'm getting a Christmas bonus or whatever, and I can pay it off in 12 months, and that credit card fee is only 3%, what's only 3% of that amount? It all goes into fee, interest rate, and amortization. Think about it. If I finance my house for 30 years at $100,000 at 4%, I'm paying interest on that balance, whatever my balance is, for 30 years. If I do the same loan for 15 years, my note's going to be higher, but my interest is going to be less because my principal is decreasing every month. So
you ran somebody off.
COVID got into his computer. That's what he just texted me.
Let's hope COVID doesn't get in the metaverse. Okay.
That's right.
That's what's trying to go through Eric.
Another benefit to the metaverse right now.
This is live.
His people are having trouble breathing already. So yeah, I mean, there's a whole lot of stuff to
he left the burner on for the meth. That's what happened.
Yeah, he's in his camper. He's got to go cook his meth.
He's got to put the blue inside the meth. Make sure it's his product.
All right. While he's out, I'll ask this question because it's a burning one. So it appears that the Gulf states are, the insurance companies for the Gulf states are dropping insurance. I'm currently in a dropped insurance situation. I got like 2 weeks to find a new insurance company to cover my house. I'm being told that these companies are going bankrupt due to the 2016 flood. Nationwide companies, right? And I'm hearing people who are getting coverage, but they're paying like 3 times as much, if not more. So
it's happening in Florida too, big time.
Is it? Okay, so it's in Florida.
Three big insurance companies they went bankrupt.
So are they going bankrupt or are they not going bankrupt? What's the deal here?
Oh, good timing, baby.
The meth is done.
Hey, don't be telling all my secrets here.
You got to take it out of the oven.
I got to be able to, got to do it sometime. Sorry, my computer died, folks. Just totally black screen, done. Nothing.
You have to plug it in. You have to plug it in sometimes to charge.
Oh, trust me, it's plugged in. I love
Brandy,
technology.
This is where I wanted to go in this conversation because we kind of had this talk beforehand, and we were talking about like if you own a business, you could protect yourself, and I think that's the message I'd like to have people hear, right? Like, what do you do?
You don't want me to answer the question if the insurance companies are going bankrupt. We'll skip that one.
If you can, I think we'd like an honest opinion, but more so, it's like, well, what do you do if you can't get insurance on your house? Like, how do you deal with that?
Okay. So first of all, it is my opinion that they are not bankrupt. That's just my opinion. However, I do think Insurance companies probably there's a stretch right now, and they're pulling out of not only Louisiana, but the Gulf states because, we're like Hurricane Alley, and it's already been announced it's going to be an active season. And I think they're pulling out before something happens. That's why everybody's getting letters. You've got 2 weeks or 30 days or whatever your policy is to get with something else. It's like the risk versus the reward. I think there was a ton of money that was paid out, maybe not all completely collected or whatever the case may be, for that. However, I'll tell you, Chris, like I would tell anybody else as a banker is if you have as a bank, if you have a home loan or any loan really secured by your property, we have what's called forced place insurance. So it's to protect you and the bank. And so that loan is covered. However, I don't say everybody, go get your forced place insurance. That's not what I'm saying, because it's only going to be your loan balance. So if your house is worth $400,000 and you owe $100,000, we can't force more insurance than what the loan balance is.
Oh, so you're just covering with the bank.
So it's covering what your balance is.
Covering the bank.
The bank's protecting
the bank and the customer. It's not just the bank.
Sorry.
The customer as well. But I think we actually had a situation earlier this week where we couldn't get anybody to write them. We were fixing to force place, and they actually got a policy through FEMA. So I think they're coming up with, okay, if these people can't be covered, well, this was for flood anyway, that, you can write it straight through FEMA. I think if you can get your homeowner's insurance to be written by a company or maybe the one you're with already, is you're going to pay for it for sure.
Yeah, if we can't find anything here in Florida, they call it Citizens. They send us to that company.
Everybody's
but I don't know how much.
Yeah,
that's a cover-up name for the government, man.
The government.
the Citizens is government insurance. Yeah,
we the people. It's called.
Yeah, we're the people who are going to take your money.
So is that really pricey when it goes to forced insurance? Is that what it's called, forced insurance?
Actually, forced place insurance is not that expensive. I wouldn't suggest it. I wouldn't be like, don't get insurance, get forced place, because it's not going to cover contents.
Right.
It doesn't cover,
Gotcha.
It's not like it's your new insurance. It's covering you and the bank for their balance until you can get insurance. Yeah. So that way you are covered.
It won't cover like the fish tank blowing up, like small stuff.
Right.
Yep.
Yeah, and then when you need a contractor, you'll just wait like a year. And you have to select between 3 that they provide.
It's like American Home Shield for air conditioning.
Yeah.
We'll be right out there. You got it.
All right, hang tight. Michael, top 5, man.
Top 5. Top 5 reasons why you need a personal banker.
Right.
Number 5.
Her eyes just got really big.
We'll keep it PG. Free financial services and networking. So you go to your local bank, and they usually have network meetings.
Yeah, they know everybody in town. They're like the mafia.
That's right.
They are.
They got cash. But don't try to pull 10 grand out at once.
That's right.
Number 4, moving along. Personal banker will help you get that new Mercedes service truck and make sure you're not getting screwed on the interest rate.
That's right. Brandy, come on. How many times have you called a local dealership and said, no, this ain't happening? Bankers do it.
Y'all finance him or I'll finance him cheaper. What you want to do? Come on.
Number 3, a banker can tell you how to wash your side job cash.
Yeah.
Just a joke.
Wrong.
Negative.
We're gonna like this is a safety deposit box. There's no cameras in here. Do what you want, right? You just buy a key. We let you in the room, and
That's
you
it.
do you. Right?
Everything on a book, invoice for everything.
I'm not
Okay,
responsible.
let me
for
just
that.
back up on that. You do realize safety deposit boxes are not FDIC insured. And secondly, do y'all remember when Katrina happened? And those boxes, they're not waterproof either.
Ooh, Ziploc bags, everybody.
Yeah, but cash don't burn, or
And-
does if it gets wet, right? It's
Okay, when it is sitting in the Gulf of Mexico for a very long time, let me just tell you, there is nothing coming out of that.
How
What
many?
does Eric do with his cash money that he gets?
Put
yeah.
it in
What
the
does
bank
Eric
and make
do
a
with his
deposit?
meth money?
It's in his camper. If we
Yeah.
can decide where
The
the
camper
camper
money.
is,
Wink, wink.
Yeah, the camera money.
Camper money. All right, number 2. The banker can tell you when to walk away.
Ooh,
right. Yeah, on big
That-
commercial jobs.
yeah, that's interesting.
You've been through some big commercial jobs, right? Right, Chris?
She can say, "Hey, I know those people." If you know what I mean, like I know them, and you shouldn't.
does that go back to the bankers know everybody, the networking circle?
I think so. Yeah.
Goes together, you know. Number 1. Now, you have somebody push your cheap financing clients to. Call me when you have the cash.
Oh yeah. So like when you don't want to be in someone's home forever, trying to talk them into a new air conditioner, you could say, "Look, this is not really what I do. Call this person. They will take care of you."
Yeah, I got some HVAC guys don't want to sit. I used to do like Wells Fargo, call Wells Fargo, sit on the phone for 20, 30 minutes, get all their information. Some
Yeah, it's a
guys don't
pain.
like to do that, But some other AC technicians think that's, convenient. They get a signature. You're in the house, get it, go. Depends on what type of HVAC company you're running,
Well, I think some of your HVAC guys want to get in there, and of course, my family business over here. Some of them are more social than others. Some of them want to get in there and do the work, and some of them just want to talk.
Yeah, they're butterflies.
Yeah. I don't know. I still have this problem with like HVAC techs having to be the financing person too, and all that paperwork. It's like, when does the job title quit getting so big? It's like, hey, we need you to be perfect with electrical. You need to know your refrigerant. We need to know, go learn load calcs. Oh, by the way, we're going to put you this financing class, and you're going to download this app, and you're going to sign everybody up. And
Yeah.
Hold on. You just mentioned a whole lot of stuff there. And when did airflow ever come out of your mouth? You, of all people, forgot the airflow.
Oh, man.
That's right.
I tell you what,
Scolded.
Steve is going to be pissed.
I hope your
Pissed.
boss isn't watching.
I hope not. He doesn't. I know he's not. I didn't send him a link.
I'm going to send him a link. Hang on. I'll be right
Send him
back.
an email. Steve's going to be mad.
But, I just think it's a lot. It's a lot to ask an HVAC technician to have to deal with that.
You got
You
to
shouldn't
know the
have
flow.
to. You shouldn't have to do with that. That's my opinion.
I mean,
kick it to the
it is a
banker.
lot.
Kick it to the banker. Let
Yes.
the banker kick it back. That's what needs to happen. Brandy,
Yeah.
would you say bankers would prefer that? Do y'all want that business as a banker? I mean, I don't know if you can answer that or not.
I mean, I can give you my opinion. I mean, of course, this is just personal. I'm a bargain shopper and everything else. I'm like, Chris, are you screwing those people? Like, what's your profit margin on that? Like, do they really need all of this? Could you not do it any cheaper?
Hey, Grandma got the UV lights. Whee!
So she's going to be the one doing the price down here and taking the price and crank it down, make it cheaper.
I like sharpen that the pencil. I like
Sharpen that pencil.
I heard a guy say that a couple of years ago. What?
All right. I got one more question for tonight. Can an insurance company come into your home and evaluate internally for coverage compliance? Does the HVAC apply in this report? Basically saying, can an insurance company force an upgrade on your air conditioner system to make you available for coverage? You know what I'm saying? Like, can they come in and say, you need a new air conditioner system or we're not covering your house?
And I'm assuming this is addressed towards me, the banker. I'm not an insurance agent. I'm just a consumer when it comes to that. But I would say no.
Okay. That was cut and dry.
Cool.
I'm going to say no. I'm going to say no too on that one, because unless it's really a safety concern or a safety hazard.
Dude,
you know, like
I've got clients in my hometown, and like 20 of them would call me up and go, Mike, insurance company just left my house and they gave me a list of stuff that I need to do. Yeah, Mike Henderson, airflow before charge. You got it.
That's right.
So right.
Here's what I'll say. Yeah, right.
Yeah, but they're giving you a list so that they can write you like, get rid of the diving board, take the trampoline out, fix whatever, the hole in the roof or whatever.
Yep.
So they can make you. They can come in and tell you to fix anything that is hazardous to the occupants or the structure of the house. So meaning, like, if they find deficient wiring, if they find fuse boxes is a big one. I've known several customers and family members that have been like, you know, they're like, fuse box, you're done, you're out. You know, you have to get that replaced.
Right.
And I think what they do is they look at the metrics on that and they say, you know, hey, is this hazardous? How many fires or how many things are we writing?
So water damage liability. I see a lot of that. Like angle stops is big. You know, the shutoff valves in the sink. So they're trying to just reduce their overall.
Oh, they want to mitigate
output.
mitigate their liability. Absolutely.
Yeah. But as a homeowner, can you tell them, like, you know?
Yeah, you can quit paying.
Yeah, you can tell them I'm not going to do that, and guess what's going to happen?
They're going to drop your ass.
You.
And that's what they're doing.
A policy. You got to have a policy.
You know what? My friends are letting them in the house, and they're dropping their ass anyway. So it's like, you're damned if you do, you're damned if you don't.
Jane, my wife's sister just went through this. She called me. She's freaking out. She goes, Chris, I don't know what to do. She's like, the insurance company told me I have to replace my air conditioner system. Now, this system's older, but it's working. Okay. And I said, what? I said, you have to replace your air conditioner to keep your homeowner's insurance? She goes, that's what they're telling me. I said, you need to call them and then you need to go shopping. I was like, because that sounds like BS.
I could see where if there was a safety problem with like a furnace, where we're talking about combustion getting into, combustion products getting into the house, if there was a problem with the venting or something like that, I could completely see an insurance company coming in and saying, you have to get that fixed or we're dropping you.
No, I would agree with that.
Yeah.
Yes.
Because I haven't had one customer AC related by me, and all those customers.
It could be that they're, I don't know what insurance companies look at as far as it would be, it'd be interesting to know if they look at things like, I'm going to say the big bad mold word here, right? If they look at stuff like that in a house, the M word.
Don't do it.
Do they look at things like that in a house, and would they say, hey, we got to get something fixed here before this gets out of control?
I thought
I don't know. I've never run into that. I think we got the wrong person on the show for that, honestly.
Okay, well, let me ask you this question. You might need to have an insurance agent on here the next time with all the insurance questions. But here's my question.
And a property
as a community banker, I might can find you one. All this networking. So did she recently purchase this house? Because I'm thinking, when's the last time my insurance agent has been to or around my house? Or is it a new purchase and there was a home inspection done with the appraisal and she was trying to get insurance? Or was this insurance for that house already insured and the owner is changing? And so they've already paid out a bunch of claims because of that air condition? Maybe.
House was recently purchased, so there was an inspector. So it could have went back to where they took pictures during the inspection and then they made a inclination off the pictures and the report.
And then she said, I need insurance. And then the first thing they say is, send me your appraisal. And then they got all the information.
Yeah, that's probably where they got the inside pictures from, because it is an older system.
A lot of my customers, they were like existing 3 to 5 years, and then just they got a phone call. My in-laws, they were in the house for 10 years, and they got a phone call. Hey, we want to take a look inside.
It would be interesting to know if those people had furnaces or not. I would imagine they did not have furnaces because you're in Florida, right?
Yeah, no furnaces.
Wow.
What's a furnace?
Yeah. I mean, my in-laws recently had a inspection done on their house by their insurance company, and they wanted to send somebody by and look at their service entrance panel, just basically do a visual inspection on things in the house that they deemed potentially hazardous. They're looking for the high. I think what they were looking for was the high incident value items.
Right.
Thanks, Dustin. Appreciate it.
Yeah, buddy. He loves the stash.
All right,
but
guys.
if they're gonna discriminate on the plumbing, I mean, we might as well get a little business out of it too. Come on now.
All right, final thoughts. What do y'all think? Randy, you got anything to leave us with?
She's thinking hard about what she's going to do to you later for getting her involved in this disaster.
He's the baby. The things we do for the baby, right?
That's right.
Oh, is that? Oh,
That's
I didn't
it.
realize that. Okay. Yeah, you got to take care of the baby, huh?
Hey, as a homeowner, I had a lot of questions for the banker myself, so it was nice to have you on.
Yeah.
It really was.
Sounds good. All right, guys.
Brandy, thanks very much for coming on here with us and putting up with our antics.
She just earned herself a free air conditioning service call out of me.
Ooh, got a new
I have a question for you. Speaking of air condition, this is not a banking question. Here we go.
Nice.
So my filter is not dirty. I have a very, very high efficient, I would assume, air conditioner because my family put it in. He's shaking his head no. I'm not replacing it. It's not.
At the time it was. So my sister built her house before inverters kind of were on the market. So I think we put in 2-stage equipment. So it was advanced at the time.
Well, I'm not changing it right now because I have a wedding to pay for. So my daughter got engaged, so we have a wedding. So I'm not changing my unit now. However, my question is, why is the vent in the living room dripping water?
Oh
my God.
Chris. Wow.
That was
Chris, why is that?
I'm gonna go back to homeowner habits here.
The punch to the gut, right?
I'm like, I've already asked Dad, so we're gonna go with Dad's expertise and your expertise. I want to see who gives me the best answer.
Woo! Wow.
Well, from Florida, I'm gonna go up there with my True Flow Grid. Start off with that.
Yep. So
It's just one vent. Just
the
one.
answer is, it's just one vent.
Is it on the first floor or second floor?
Is it the kitchen?
I only have one story.
One
it's
story.
the living room.
It's the living room vent.
Dustin says to close the front door.
I got a bunch of stories. Shut the front door.
The easy answer is it could be a few different things. It's not just necessarily one thing. It could be a couple things going on. Well, it could be different things, right? It's not just necessarily one thing, right? We should have caught the box. Go ahead.
Let's break it down here. All right. First, why does anything condense? Because the surface is colder than the dew point of the air that's in contact with it. So you have high humidity air in contact with a cold surface. Now, the next question is, why?
Yeah. And if your other grill that's close by is not sweating, then that tells me you've got an issue with that boot.
Okay, so I'm looking at the living room as we're having this conversation.
Let's do this
the
live.
Grill that
Turn
has
that
this.
laptop around. Let's do it. Let's get into this. I fix things
on the web.
Let's do it.
This is
go get my-
what we
Okay,
call.
I am going with the laptop. Here we
do
go.
it.
All right.
This is what we call metaverse. This is
go
what
get
we
my
call.
tools.
We should take it to the attic and show them that install how awesome it
This is what we call metaverse troubleshooting by committee.
That's right.
Okay, so this
Ooh,
is
I like
this is
that
the back
brickwork.
door. Back door, and the vent is. Can y'all see it right there?
Okay, right by the back door.
Yes.
Ooh.
Has the back door been open all day?
No.
Open
This
and
is
then closing.
kitchen, living room. Okay, and then that's the front doors, and there's another.
Obviously, we know who makes all the money in the family.
Yeah.
We're at
It's
the
in the
banker's
other-
house.
The other vent is by the front
Okay.
doors.
Perfect.
Okay.
You got another one over there.
So I'm like, whoop, all the way around and back to the back door.
Well, Chris,
That
it
one.
sounds like you're going to go get to crawl through some insulation, old buddy.
So we're going to do a
Yep.
blower door test tomorrow.
So do you want to know Dad's answer?
Don't even say it. Don't even say it. Dad is a commercial mechanic by heart.
Fight,
Doesn't
gotta
do
get-
Finley,
resi-
fight.
doesn't do residential.
Get that guy
Finally,
from
why did
Miami.
Here we go.
Get that guy.
Get this guy.
Yeah. Hire Jenry.
Henry, where you at, buddy?
But I think a lot of people want to know that because I don't think I'm the only one having that issue right now.
All right.
You know
let's
what?
Get
All right,
into
I
it.
bet-
No, let's get
hey,
into it.
Hold on. I'm going to say this. Dustin Cole is closer. Hire Dustin.
Ooh,
Hey, actually, Dustin Cole might be closer to me. to
Lake
your
Charles,
house than
where
I
you
am.
at?
Yeah,
We're
he's
probably
in
about
Lake
the same
Charles.
We're probably the
Shout out to
same
Lake
distance
Charles,
to your
baby.
house. So there's different reasons. One, if the boot that holds the grill, like they meet at the sheetrock, right? If it's not caulked in really well, then you'll
It's
get
not
you
air
know,
sealed, right?
it's
It can be
not air
leaking. It
sealed.
can be leaking hot,
So-
humid air down out of that
so
attic
hot-
right there.
Yeah, and they meet right there, and you get condensation.
That
But
was
I-
one of Dad's answers.
That's one of Dad's answers.
Oh, okay.
All right. Two would be
That's on home performance. All right.
we're gonna get really deep. Two, if you have a lot of steam from, say, you're cooking and it's locally sitting in that pocketed area from cooking, you getting humidity that's rising, it could hit a grill when it's blowing cold air and you could get condensation from that. But
I
that
ain't
would,
cooking. That ain't it.
but that would be typically localized to the grill that's closest to the kitchen,
They're
right?
doing DoorDash.
I doubt that's what's going on. And what's interesting is it just started. You've been living there for years.
Ooh,
right?
That's a
So
good
then,
point.
now,
The Mustang.
my opinion of what I think's going on is I know you just got a new swimming pool, and I know that door leads to the swimming pool. And I know, even though you told me that door hasn't been open, that door has been swinging a couple of times today, right? And I know it's wide open, and the way your house is shaped, it's like a tunnel. And so I know you're getting, and I know the humidity level of Louisiana. So I know you're getting gusts of humidity coming into the house when that door
What's
opens.
the humidity level
that
in
is the-
Louisiana lately?
Oh man. And that's the
Is it?
closest grill to where all that humidity is going to come into the house and hit to that ceiling.
Mike,
Right.
let's put it this way. They don't even have to dig a hole in the ground to put in a swimming pool. All they do is walk out the door.
Ooh,
That's
that's
right.
a good one, bro. I think
So-
Dustin said something about the humidity yesterday, right? In the grapevine.
Yeah. And I'm with
Essentially,
Dustin.
it could be
I'm with Dustin on this. He says check the door seal, number one, and I'm going to say check the house pressure with reference to outside.
Ooh, a little Jenry on there. Now,
I would
is the
agree
door
with
seal-
you,
Do you have
but
a
then-
bunch of dogs at the door?
I would
trying to
agree
get
with you,
out?
but the only reason I wouldn't necessarily agree with that is because like it's one grill, right? And I
Right.
know how many grills she has in the ceiling of the living room, so I would think it would be all four of them, or all
But
two of them.
If it's leaking, if that door seal, say that door seal is just leaking right at the top, and the house is under a negative pressure, right in and up there, buddy.
Maybe. Here's what I would do. So we just made this tool called the True Flow. And I know Dad has one because I made him buy it because I actually bought it with his company credit card right when I started.
But
with
Dad
DDC.
did not make me get on this call. So
Oh, all right, done. We'll make an episode out of it.
Free
YouTube,
service call.
You'll see a TEC episode coming soon at my sister's house. It
I
will be sweating grill investigation.
I want
think,
this all videotaped. This
It's
must
gonna,
be.
yeah, we're gonna
Must be done.
videotape it. We're gonna
Yeah.
videotape it.
I
All
think
right.
this requires a service call from Chris.
I think
think
so.
so.
Service call.
I think so. But you and Dad
Documentation.
have all the same answers. He thinks it's the pool and the door being open constantly back and forth as well.
Yep.
or the
Yeah,
seal around the vent, or the seal around the door, or I need to change my filters because they're dirty. But that was not the case.
That's where I was going next. I know. So those are ream systems, and I know we've changed the evaporator coil because they leaked at least once, if not once, on both systems, if not twice. So I know the evaporator coils aren't dirty, and I know the charges are good, right? And I know your filters are clean. So airflow, I doubt, is the issue.
Right. And it would be sweating on another grill, at least one more grill if it was, airflow and low charge.
Potentially. I think it's the door swinging open and the pool area and the tunnel effect and leakage around the door seal.
Yeah, we don't know until we check.
How you going to fix that, Chris?
We're going to change out the type of grill for metal. We're going to make a custom wooden one so we can change the dew point surface too.
It's just going to be a sponge.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
We're going to make a different type of grill.
Okay.
Positive.
Here's how you do this. You put an air curtain on the outside of the house. So there's an air curtain right in front of that door so that they don't have that humid air coming in.
And I can tell you what, I know where we can get one for a really good deal, and we'll get the banker to finance it for cheap.
Hell yeah. Then she'll be able to afford that DOAS system.
0%.
Dustin wants to do.
0%. But look, let me tell you what, you want to pay it off in the first 12 months, because if you don't, you're freaking screwed. I'm helping you out.
Absolutely.
Right? I'm helping you out right now.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right. I guess I know what next weekend holds.
Bring your kids for Labor Day. They can swim and you can fix my hair.
Right on. Labor Day service call. All right, guys. We're signing out. See you.
Thanks for
Peace
coming,
out.
guys.
Thanks, Brandy.
Thank you.
Thanks for joining, and we will catch you next time on the HVAC Grapevine.